Inside a busy Tim Hortons, a Senator Ted Cruz storms in, tossing insults at Prime Minister Mark Carney over Trump's hefty 25% tariffs on Canadian goods. He acts confident, sure his sharp words will win the crowd, but Carney's quick wit and Rick Mercer's biting humor turn the tables, making Cruz look foolish as customers shake their heads and leave. Before you jump into this scene, leave a comment with Canada to show your pride. Hit like and subscribe for more drama. As Canadian as a double-double, the Edmonton Tim Hortons hums with life. The smell of fresh coffee and warm Timbits mixes with chatter about Oilers wins and Trump's tariffs. A big Canadian flag hangs near the counter, surrounded by photos of hockey legends, all workers in flannel, a retired teacher with a Canada pin, a fan in Oilers gear, and students gather around, talking loudly about community and pride. At a corner table, Carney, dressed sharp but calm, sips black coffee. Opposite him sits Rick Mercer, Canada's quick-witted comedian, filming a segment for his show. Mercer leans in and asks, "So, Mark, Trump's hitting us with 25% tariffs, except on oil, which gets 10%. Are you sending him a polite thank you note or fighting back?" Carney's eyes flash with determination. "No thanks, Rick. We've already hit back, with tariffs of 30 billion CE on American steel, bourbon, and farm goods. Ohio and Kentucky already feel the blow, and we're only starting." Mercer laughs, waving a Timbits in the air. Kentucky's bartenders are probably crying into their bourbon. But honestly, how do we keep Canada strong when Trump plays tough? Carney sets his cup down, speaking calmly. "We're expanding trade to stay strong. Our deal with the EU has boosted exports by 12% since 2017, and we're working on new deals with Japan and the UK for Canada AI. Trump's tariffs hurt, but Canada is tougher than he thinks." Before Mercer can ask more, the door opens. Ted Cruz walks in, flanked by a nervous aide. Murmurs spread through the crowd. Someone whispers, "That's Cruz." The oil worker murmurs, "Born in Calgary, now Trump's mouthpiece." Cruz spots Carney and marches over, loud enough for everyone to hear. Mark Carney didn't expect to see a prime minister hiding in a coffee shop. Cruz says, "I was born in Alberta, so I know Canadian strength. Without America, we are weak." Mercer raises an eyebrow and smirks. "Ted, you left Calgary when you were 4? What do you remember? Snowballs and sippy cups? Or do you think Tim Hortons is just a copy of Starbucks?" The crowd chuckles, but Cruz ignores it. He locks eyes with Carney. "Let's talk tariffs. Canada's economy is falling under Trump's pressure. You're in over your head." Carney stands and smiles politely, extending his hand. "Welcome to Edmonton, Ted. Coffee's on me, unless you want to lecture us on how to run our country." Cruz smirks as he sits down hard. "Canada depends on America's strength to stay afloat. Without us, you're lost. You need our help more than we need yours." The oil worker leans forward, voice steady but strong. "It's bold to say that here, on our land." Carney keeps his smile but his eyes grow colder. "Ted, Canada exports for $112 billion to the U.S., including 61% of your crude oil. Without Alberta's pipelines, your refineries would shut down. Who's really leaning on whom?" Cruz's smirk falters, and Mercer joins in, grinning wide. "Oh, Ted, you walked right into that. Born in Calgary but forgets how Alberta's oil keeps America powered. Maybe a reminder of your roots is needed." The retired teacher whispers to her friend, "He just doesn't get Canada at all." Carney's words cut deep. The students look at each other, their whispers getting louder. Cruz's aide shifts, uncomfortable with the rising tension. The stage is set. Cruz's confidence is cracking under Carney's focus and Mercer's sharp insults. Cruz leans forward, voice full of sarcasm. Mark Trump's 25% tariffs are meant to save American jobs. Your experts dropped 2% in the first quarter of 2025. Your economy is shrinking, so you'll be begging for a deal. Mercer leans in, eyes twinkling with mischief. The game, dead. We're Canadians. We say sorry a lot, but not for tariffs. Ever try our bourbon tariffs? Cookies distilleries are crying into their barrels. Someone in an Oilers jersey claps and grins. That's right, Rick. Hit them hard. Carney's voice stays calm but cut sharp. Dead. Our retaliatory tariffs of $30 billion can't hit your steel, bourbon, and farm goods. Ohio lost 5,000 manufacturing jobs last February. Cookies bourbon sales fell by 15%. We're not bleeding. We're fighting back. Cruz scoffs and leans back. Fighting back. America is your lifeline. 70% of your exports go to us. Your deals are dreams. You can't survive without our market. Carney's eyes turn cold. Yes, 70%. But we're changing. Our CEDA deal with the EU boosted exports by 12% since 2017. It adds 10 billion CAD each year to our economy. Japan and the UK signed agreements with us in 2024. Our Canada AI hub pushed out 15 billion CAD in tech exports last year alone. We're not just hanging on. We're building a future without America. The oil worker slams his cup down, nodding hard. That's how our Prime Minister shows strength. Cruz's helper murmurs something. Cruz waves him off, voice rising. You're bluffing, Mark. Canada's economy shrank 0.3% last quarter. Your people are suffering, and you're making up stories about Japan. Mercer leans forward, grinning. You're hurting, Dan. America's inflation hit 4% in March 2025. Your car prices jumped $3,000 because of your tariffs. Maybe you should worry about Detroit first, before telling Edmonton what to do. The crowd roars. Students cheer. One shouts, Mark's got him. Cruz's face tightens, but he presses on. Your tariffs are a desperate stunt. Mark, America's economy is worth $25 trillion USD, 10 times your size. We won't be beaten. Carney's smile is narrow, his voice even. Last, Dan, our tariffs are precise. We targeted Ohio and Michigan, states where factories are already asking Trump to step back. We're not desperate. We're smart. Mercer sniggers, calling it strategic. That's polite. Mark, I'd say we're showing Trump how to lose friends fast and turn allies away. The audience laughs, and Cruz's tariff joke falls flat against Carney's facts and Mercer's sharp humor. But he's already prepared with his next move. Cruz sees an opening, shifts gears, his voice sharp. Let's talk about your leadership, Mark. Inflation's hit 3%. That's the highest in 10 years. Housing prices in Edmonton are up 20% since 2023. Young families are getting pushed out. Your Canada Strong slogan sounds empty when no one can afford a home. The crowd goes quiet. An old teacher nods slowly and whispers, he's right about house prices. Carney's jaw tightens. He clutches his coffee, feeling the weight of the criticism. He takes a slow sip, pauses, then responds with calm but strained voice. Yes, Ted, housing is a real problem. We're working on it. We plan to build 2 million new homes by 2030. Last year, 300,000 homes already began. We've simplified permits and created thousands of construction jobs. We've also boosted support for first-time buyers. Cruz smirks. Jaws, your economy is crawling at 1%. Families struggle. and you're busy taxing your neighbors instead of fixing your country. The audience murmurs. A woman in a parka looks uneasy. She whispers, "Is he doing enough for us?" Mercer sees the shift and jumps in. His tone light but pointed. "Hold on, Dan. You're throwing stones from Texas. Your power grid failed in 2021, leaving many freezing. What's your plan?" More tweets for Trump. The crowd chuckles. A fan in an Oilers jersey nods. "Good one, Rick." The retired teacher speaks up again, her voice firm but respectful. "Prime Minister, free. 8% inflation hurts us all. Groceries and rent are higher. What's your plan to help people like us?" The crowd leans in. Carney's eyes flicker with the pressure. He looks at her and keeps his tone steady. "I hear you. It's tough. We're investing $10 billion in clean energy to lower utility bills. We've expanded tax credits for families and frozen some federal fees. It won't fix everything overnight, but we're building a strong base for the future." Cruz scoffs. "Stability. Your people are drowning. Mark, your plans are just band-aids on a broken system." Mercer jumps in, smiling bitterly. "Broken? Your Texas grid left millions in the cold for days. Carney is building homes, while Cruz makes excuses. Maybe he should take notes." The crowd laughs, and Carney adds, "Damn it, we're doing more than building homes. We're creating 50,000 jobs in clean energy. 20,000 are right here in Alberta. That's real leadership, something you forgot when you headed back to Texas." The oil worker nods, voice loud and firm. Carney has a plan. Cruz just points fingers, refusing to act. The retired teacher stays seated, her face soft but worried. Carney's honesty and Mercer's quick wit keep the crowd steady. Cruz's jab reveals a crack, keeping the tension tight. Mercer leans forward with a grin, eyes bright and eager. Ted Trump keeps floating the idea of a new 51st state, calling Canada a province. "Do you believe that? Or is Canada still Canada?" Cruz responds with a grin, condescension dripping from his voice. "Mark, Canada is only a junior partner at best. You rely on our markets and our security. NATO shows America spends 3.5% of GDP. You only use 1.4%. Without us, you drift in the global pool." The crowd reacts with gasps, and a fan in an Oilers jersey jumps up, shouting, "Junior, we're nobody's sidekick." Carney's voice cuts through calmly but with steel. "Dead. Canada has been independent since 1867. We lead NATO in the Arctic. We're investing $2 billion KD in NORAD radar systems in 2024 to protect shared shipping lanes. Our exports to you total $412 billion USD. That's strength, not dependency. It's what we bring to the table." Mercer smirks and speaks up. "Dana, you call us small. Alberta pushes out 4.3 million barrels of oil daily. That's enough to keep your gas stations running. Did you forget that from your Calgary days? Or did Texas erase it from your mind?" The crowd cheers, and the retired teacher nods firmly. "Well said, Mark. We're no one's shadow." Cruz laughs, unbothered. "Streff, I was born here. I see Canada as just America's backyard." Tagging along for the ride, Carney's eyes flash, voice rising. "Born here. You left Alberta and forgot its soul. Our province makes up 17% of Canada's GDP, pumping 4.3 million barrels daily. We're not following, we're leading." The crowd erupts in chants. "Canada, Canada." Cruz's aide whispers urgently, but Cruz waits him off sharply. "Leading? You're dreaming, Mark. Canada needs America's strength to stand tall." Mercer leans back, smiling. "Backbone, Dana. We've got enough spine to make your refineries crave our oil. Try running a factory without Alberta's crude. Good luck." Pride swells in the crowd, and the retired teacher nods. That's Canada strong and free. Cruz's shot at sovereignty falters under Carney's fierce defense and Mercer's relentless barbs. But Cruz isn't done yet. His eyes narrow as he plans a strike. He points at Carney with force. Your 30 billion CAD tariffs are just a tantrum. Mark, America's economy is 25 trillion USD. Yours is only 5 trillion. You'll collapse in months. And you know it. Mercer smirks, twirling his coffee cup. Collapse? Damn it. We're Canadians. We survived tougher winters than your tariffs. Ever shoveled snow in Edmonton? Didn't think so? The crowd laughs, easing the tension. The Oilers jersey fan claps loudly, shouting, "Get him, Rick." Carney leans forward, voice sharp and steady. Tantrum. Our tariffs cost Ohio 5,000 jobs, and Kentucky's bourbon sales by 15% early next year. We supply 60% of your crude 4 million barrels a day. Your refineries are made for Alberta's heavy crude, not Saudi light oil. Here's something else. Damn it. We're planning to sell 50 billion USD in U.S. bonds. That could send your stock into a tailspin. The oil worker cheers loudly. Sell them, Mark. Let him panic. Cruz's face turns pale. His voice cracks. You dare. That's suicide for Canada. Carney's smile is thin, eyes locked on Cruz. Suicide remains a serious issue. In 2024, Canada increased tech exports to Japan by 15 billion CAD, climbing 20% from 2023. Our AI hub in Canada is supported by the US. With partnerships in the EU, Japan, and the UK, we are not giving up. Instead, we are reshaping how global trade works, Mercer says with a wide smile. Dana, you call us small, but one move is shaking Wall Street. Maybe Trump should stick to golf, not trade wars. The crowd cheers, and students chant, Canada strong. Cruz's aide looks nervous, whispering urgently. Cruz snaps, you're overdoing it, Mark. America's too big to feel your little tariffs. Carney stays calm. Too big. We targeted swing states like Michigan, where auto plants want Trump to negotiate. Our oil keeps your economy moving. 61% of your crude comes from us. You can't replace that overnight. Mercer adds more. Tiny tariffs. Damn it. Our tariffs are so precise. They're almost surgery on your economy. Better bring a band-aid. The crowd's energy rises, and Cruz's attack falls apart against Carney's steady strategy and Mercer's sharp humor. But Cruz, face red, prepares to launch a personal attack. He's furious and goes personal, sneering with venom. Mark, you're no leader. You're just a globalist who ran to England. You let Canadians face 8% inflation and sky-high rents. You're just a flashy banker pretending to be prime minister, and everyone knows it. The crowd murmurs. A woman in a parka frowns, whispering to her friend, he's been gone a while. Is he really one of us? Carney grips his cup tighter. His composure is tested by the harsh words. He looks at Cruz and speaks firmly. I led Canada through the 2008 crisis. I kept families in their homes while banks collapsed worldwide. I stabilized Britain's markets during Brexit and saved jobs in chaos. You, Dana, left Alberta for Texas. You cheered tariffs that hurt farmers back home. Good leadership is about results, not talk. Mercer stands up, voice sharp and mocking. Flashy Ted. You left Calgary and forgot us. Now you're telling us how to love Canada. That's richer than Timbits. Cruz rushes to respond, voice rising. I know Alberta. I understand their struggles. Oil prices, jobs, everything. Mercer jumps in, grinning. Alberta's oil workers were here when prices crashed in 2014. Dana, where were you? Tweeting from Texas. Don't talk about our struggles while you bailed. The crowd roars, and oil worker shouts, Carney's fighting for us. You're just talk, Cruz. Cruz's face darkens. His voice quivers. You're all talk, Mark. Canada's weak with you. Carney leans forward. We are strong. We created 50,000 clean energy jobs in 2024, 20,000 in Alberta alone. We are building 2 million homes and lowering costs for families. You, Ted, back policies that raise car prices by $3,000 in the US. Who is hurting their own people? Mercer adds, Ted, you're so busy kissing Trump's ring. You forgot how to fight for your own country. The crowd cheers as the retired teacher nods and says, Carney's one of us. Maybe try a double-double. It's humbler than you? Cruz doesn't understand. His personal attack backfires badly, and his isolation grows. Carney's calm resolve and Mercer's sharp words rally the crowd. But Cruz, desperate, prepares for one last blow. He pounds the table, voice loud enough to fill the shop. Canada is just a province of America, he declares. Without us, you're nothing but snow, coffee shops, and empty dreams. The crowd erupts in anger. An oil worker stands and shouts loudly, Province, you betrayed Alberta. A woman in a parka yells, Get out, Dana. Students leap to their feet, voices raised in fury. You don't belong here. Mercer rises, half amused, half irritated. Ted, you insulted Alberta, your home. No double-double for you after that. Maybe try a Starbucks in Texas. Carney steps forward, loud and commanding. Ted, Canada gave you your start, but you've forgotten its soul. We are 41 million strong, exporting for $112 billion USD, and powering 60% of your oil. You were born here, but you don't know us. Leave and take your disrespect with you. The crowd chants, Ah, ah, their voices shaking the walls. Cruz's aide pulls at his arm, but Cruz, flustered, makes one last jab. You'll regret this, Mark. America is your lifeline. Mercer smirks and cuts him off. Lifeline, Dana. We keep your gas stations running. Alberta's oil says, You're welcome. An oil worker shouts, Calgary doesn't claim you. Cruz, the student said, Canada strong. Their voices drown out Cruz's protests. Rage and humiliation cover Cruz's face. He yanks his aide and storms out, slamming the door behind him. The crowd cheers loudly. Cups are raised in celebration. Carney raises his hand, voice steady and strong. Enough, everyone. We are Canadians. Proud, united, unbreakable. From Alberta's oil fields to our coasts, we build together. A fan in an Oilers jersey shouts, Canada strong. The crowd joins in, pride filling the room. Mercer gives a quick wink. Well, OS, Ted Cruz found out you don't mess with Canada in a Tim Hortons. Who's up for a coffee? My treat. Everyone laughs, tension melting into unity. The fight is over, but the pride remains. It's a story that will be told over many coffee breaks. News of the scene spreads quickly. CBC News leads with, Carney defends Canada's pride at Tim Hortons. The Globe and Mail calls it a master class in leadership during a crisis. The National Post says, Cruz's Alberta betrayal. Edmonton teaches a lesson in loyalty. Across the border, the New York Times reports, Cruz's outburst hurts us Canada ties. Fox News defends Cruz, calling Carney an out-of-touch elitist banker. Canadian media tell the story as a call to stand strong and proud, a story shared over morning coffees from coast to coast. The Tim Hortons debate was more than just words. It revealed Canada's true spirit. Mark Carney showed us that strong leadership is about vision, not loudness. He guided us through tough times with facts and steady resolve. Rick Mercer's quick wit proved we can face stress with humor and strength. His insults turned into rallying cries. lifting us higher. The people of Edmonton, oil workers, teachers, hockey fans, students proved our power. We stand firm when we stick together. No challenge too big. When Canadians unite, no tariff or insult can break us. We should carry this pride into the future, supporting leaders who defend our values. We are a nation that stands tall. If you're proud of Canada, inspired by Carney, or just love a good scuffle, leave a comment below. Hit like and subscribe to see who challenges our country next. Will Cruz take on another Tim Hortons?